Hey all, Hibber here. So today we're testing out the new Tier 7 Russian destroyer Udaloi, and I have Makarov with Takao and Azure Lane Baltimore here. It's the same build I use on Tashkent, except I don't have Rumble for increased range here. So on the ship I've made it an AA build, this one here. I might change that, but for the time being that's what I have. So double rudder and again the AA mod. Like I said, I might change it. So with this build you get 3 heals, 3 boosts and 3 smokes. So you get a little bit faster torps compared to Tashkent, but we'll just look at artillery first. See, the range isn't really there and the reload is almost double of Tashkent, which is a huge problem actually. Torpedoes same range, a little bit faster, but you get 15 of them instead of 9. And then 41 knots, and then insane 1.2 second rudder and only 610 meter turning radius. So it's a very, very agile destroyer, and it's a lot of fun to play. But to jump to the conclusion here, I much prefer Tashkent over Udaloi still, which is a shame because I was really excited for this ship here, but I'll try to explain why. So Tashkent gets 3 banks of 3 torpedoes that you can fire on the same side of the ship. And Udaloi gets 3 banks of 5 torpedoes, but you can only fire 2 of them to the same side of the ship. And then you have the third one that you have to fire to, well, the opposite side. And I prefer Tashkent's layout by far, actually. And then another thing that is a bit of a problem here is the reload on Udaloi. It's 7.5 seconds stuck, while Tashkent is 4.6 seconds stuck. So it's hard to pump out the same amount of damage that Tashkent does with your guns, and that for me is a bit of a deal breaker, honestly, because I don't think the torpedoes really make up for that. If I could fire 15 torpedoes on one side of the ship, yeah, then maybe, but I can only in quotes, I can only fire 10 on one side and then another 5 on the other side. So again, I prefer the 9 torpedoes on one side that Tashkent can do, where you can stagger the firings, and you can just set up some really nasty traps. Basically, you can't really do that in Udaloi. It is a very agile ship, and I've got a full agile build on it here. So it's 1.2 second rudder and 41 knots, and with the speed boost going, it's good fun. It's like a little speedboat actually, and the turning radius is much smaller than Tashkent, so you can pull off some pretty crazy stunts in the ship here. I haven't spec'd into a range build because I just don't think there's much point to it with the reload being as long as it is. And that brings me to another problem with this ship here, that if I want to play a destroyer with an almost 8 second reload, I'm going to play the Z39 because it's just so much better. And in the role that Udaloi has, I still think Tashkent does a much better job. It's much tougher, and it's also a bigger target, but it's also much faster, and it's just overall a better ship, I think. So I'm not really sure what the goal with Udaloi is, because it's not going all in on what it does best, which is a shame. So for me, Tashkent is still the best Russian destroyer by far, even better than Khabarovsk as well. But as you can tell, this is a fun ship to zip around in, and the gun traverse is super fast. It's only 9 seconds, and compared to Tashkent's 18, of course that's a lot faster. But again, I just prefer Tashkent. But like I said, the agility on this thing here is just awesome. I think only Sims comes anywhere close to it, and of course Sims is nowhere near as fast as Udaloi. This thing can go probably around 45 knots with 1.2 second rudder, and like a very small turning radius. So it's fun, and like if you have to kite someone, it's very easy in this ship here. So that's what I usually do, and that's also why I have Makarov on it. It's to me it's a bit of a hit and run ship. You head in full speed, and you get spotted, and you don't really care about that. And you fire your torps and you fire your guns, and then you try to get out again alive by wiggling your tail. Because I've tried the concealment build on this ship, and again, compared to something like Z39, it just doesn't hold comparison at all. Z39 is a much better destroyer, basically, I think. Especially because it sits at a lower tier, so you don't really get to face legendary ships or that many radar cruisers and stuff like that. So it's just a sweet spot that the Z39, the German premium, sits in. So for like pure destroyer gameplay, that's still my favorite. And the way I play Tashkent anyway is not like a pure destroyer. I play it like a little cruiser, and you can do both with Udaloi. In this video here, I'm using almost using my Tashkent build, except for the improved range. The main reason I have Makarov on this ship actually is to get 3 of all my consumables, because this ship has a heal, it has a speed boost, and has a smoke. So in my opinion, it's not really that smart not to have 3 of those. When you have that many consumables, you might as well get as many of them as you want, and then just make the ship work. Because I don't think it's a very good destroyer to rely on concealment in, honestly. And it's not as good a run and gun boat as Tashkent is. So it's probably a much better capping boat than Tashkent is, because like you have smokes and heals, and you have a speed boost to get out of dodge when you need it. But on the other hand, Tashkent is faster than Udaloi anyway, so yeah, I mean, like I said before, I don't really see the point of Udaloi. And I was very excited for this ship. I thought it would be an even better Tashkent. And in some ways it is, and in some ways it isn't. So I guess it's a matter of personal taste if you enjoy this ship and the playstyle it offers. For me, Tashkent is still, like I said, the pinnacle of the line, and I see no reason to really dabble anymore in Udaloi, which is like a real shame, I think, because it's a very pretty ship and it's a lot of fun to play with an agile build. But as soon as you put a concealment build on this thing, I think it loses a lot of its attraction, at least for me, and I don't think it works as well as Tashkent does. So yeah, gonna be a pass for me, unfortunately. Of course, it's very satisfying once you catch a potato battleship, which we'll do here in a minute, broadside, and you get to fire those 10 torpedoes off. But again, you can only fire 10 of your 15 torpedoes to one side, and in Tashkent you get to fire 9, and you can, like I said, stagger them a little bit to create some really horrible traps. And you can't really do that in Udaloi. You just have to fire your 2 banks, and then you don't have that third one in reserve that you can use to cut off the battleship maybe 20 seconds later, in case you miss or anything like that. So I just think Tashkent is more flexible, it has more options, and of course you cannot have both a heal and a smoke on Tashkent, but I don't really miss the heal on Tashkent because it is so tanky already. Just to change the subject a little bit here while we wait for the game to finish, I also played around with the new Russian cruiser line, the heavy cruiser line, and I think I got the tier 5, I forget the name, or the Gorky, yeah, in a crate, and I took it out, and safe to say I wasn't very pleased with the result. In like pure Russian cruiser style, it's just so slow in everything it does. even the reload this time. It doesn't even have the fast reload of the lights. So those Russian cruisers, or at least the tier 5 that I've played so far, they feel like they're stuck in glue. Like they start really slowly, they stop really slowly, they turn really slowly, and then yeah, they're not very very good for agile builds. Just like the current Russian cruisers, none of them are very interesting except for Ochakov, and even that I don't really play much. And I had a look at the stats for the tier 7, the Riga, and it looks okay, but again, with the Russians, the stats can easily say one thing, and in reality, it's a whole different world. Because, for example, if you look at a ship like Kutuzov, it looks like a perfect agile cruiser on paper, but in reality, it's absolutely terrible because it's just so slow and yeah, horrible. Like it's stuck in glue, like I said before. So it's definitely not a good agile cruiser. And as much as I wish Riga would be a good agile cruiser, I don't think it will be. Of course, I could be surprised, just like with the Albemarle, but I honestly doubt it. Even just the rudder shift time itself won't. Yeah, it's gonna be around the 3-4 seconds or something like that, and that's just not good enough. But we'll see next month when I can actually unlock the ship completely, and it does have that nice, nearly 12-kilometer Russian radar. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So this is my second battle in Udaloi, I think, and I'm a little bit anxious to see how much punishment this ship can take compared to Tashkent. So in any other battle, I would have just stayed here and let the time run out. But there happens to be a legendary Worcester over here, and I want to see how many salvos I can take from one of those for future reference, in case I need to do something where I will have to take a punishing salvo from a legendary HE cruiser like this one here. So if you don't want to watch this part, you can just stop now, because obviously this is suicide, but we're going to win anyway. So I'm just going to use this opportunity here to see what I can actually receive in this ship and still be alive. So I'm just trying to torp him now that I'm at it, but of course he's going to hurt me. So you can actually take one whole salvo there, which is quite nice. And you can actually take 2 full salvos from a Worcester if you are high on, or like if you're not too low on health already. So that's good to know, and I don't have to do this again. So is Udaloi a good ship? Should you use a lot of XP to either boost your way to it, or should you play through the line? And sure, you can do that, but don't expect too much. I mean, like I said, set 39 is a better option for like real destroyer work, and for like more Russian like destroyer work, I still go with Tashkent by far. I'm not really sure, like I said before, what the purpose of Udaloi is, but it's not a bad ship at all. It's just not as good as I thought it would be, which is a shame. So that was Udaloi here, and I hope you enjoyed the battle, and I'll see you out there.